Good morning. Welcome to OptionsTender. It is Friday. The triple witching week is just about over. What a volatile week. My gosh. It's December 20th, 2024. Welcome, traders. So we have a lot to go through. The price action is all over the place. We're getting the scenario to where we had a bear trap. And I want to show you what exactly is going on in my mind. I think the top is in, but we're going to have to look at SPY because it gives a bull argument, but I think the Qs say otherwise. And we've been in this situation before on a bigger scale, but let's dive into it. Okay, so we're doing this about 11:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member at 99 cents. And that comes along with the Discords and trade alerts. So jump on in. We'll see you there. 2007 top, 21 top, 24 top. I believe this is going to be a topping candle. We have all sorts of divergences long term that are going to play out. Let's rip through these really quick. I want to get down to the daily and the 65. Okay, so we're really just making a higher low. In a sense, we're holding on to this 8 EMA. There's nothing too bearish about this, right? Other than the fact that we are at historic trend lines of resistance. So I believe the top, again, is in. I believe we've done some damage, and we'll see. We'll have to get some follow through. That's a weekly time frame. Going through really quick. Okay, so we've had this bearish rising wedge that has broken down. We're looking at a back test right now. We're not quite to the 8 EMA or the 20. I do think these will be tested. Now, how this will look, that's what we're going to go through on the lower time frames. We're not going clearly straight through, but this correction, just a massive move today. We had this 585 area. I said if we broke that, we could easily go down to the 570. I don't think that's the case anymore for this first wave. I think the first wave is over now. We're correcting for the second wave, and then we'll start to break down. I think the Qs are going to be much more clear. I think SPY is looking for a leading diagonal made up of 3 waves for every wave. And so that's going to be the confusing thing for this move. Okay, so again, testing the 50, we just have a straight up bar there, so I don't see any real structure in there. Let's look at, I think this next move, I think the wave 3 should bring us to either the trend line or this breakout point. Should be we could measure this pretty soon here. Let's just go down to the 65. We got to work these scenarios out, and we'll probably end it there. There's not a whole lot else to say that hasn't been said in other videos. So it looks like we're probably going to make today back to the options expected move after breaking down from it. That huge day that we had in FOMC on Wednesday, it looks like the price action wants to get back up there to that. It's always a higher probability that price makes it to either end of the options expected move. The other end's up here. We made it to the lower, and it's probably going to test right back here to end the week. So this clearly is no longer valid. We broke down. Leave that there. Okay, we broke down from here. And so what do we see? From the first point of view, and I talked about this yesterday, this looks like an A, B wave with a triangle in there. You can't have a 1-2. You can't have a triangle in a 1-2. And then here looks like a 5-wave move down. Somebody else mentioned that in the Discord. I think that's 100% correct how it looks. So is this the question now? We know this isn't a just a direct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a straight up move here. So the question is this a ABC for a 1 or an ABC for just a correction and we get new highs? Okay, I think it's a 1. I think the probability is that the highs are in. And so if it's a 1, we have to look for a retracement. Our move might be done for today. So if we're looking at this, you see how first of all, I had a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all done in there. And then a 3. And this wave 4 in the white, the 382 from the top of the white 2 down to the bottom, that would have been all of wave 3. The limit was 591.17. We got above that. It invalidates this whole entire play right here. This is no longer the case. So we're going to take all these out. I know I'm going through this I could have did this beforehand, but I want you to see what I'm doing. That's all out. All of this is out. We'll use those later. So I'm just going to save those. And I'll keep this one. All right, so all these things done. Done. And so what we're looking for is, I think this is a wave 1, an ABC for a 1. So that means each wave is going to be made of 3 waves. Okay, it still is potentially just an ABC correction, and we get new highs. Not doubting that. So if this is the case, we have to take the top of this move here, and we'll get a 50-60% retracement, and we're at it right now. Okay, so literally going into next week, we could fall from here. The caveat here is this is just a straight up move. So in my opinion, this is an impulse. This is a 5-wave move. We'll probably get a correction, and then going into next week, have a 5-wave move up. Probably unfinished business left here, but does it have to? No, maybe there's a zigzag in there going on, and we just can't see it. And then we start heading lower from here. So I do have puts on. I think I wasn't expecting a move like this. So now I have to think longer term puts again. I was trying to switch my mind frame into getting longer dated calls just to let this play out the way it needed to, and then protect it with puts. But now I have to change back to right where we were quickly, whiplash, and look for a longer term puts, because this wave 3 is coming. All right, so we're looking for wave 3 to start. I don't know how long wave 2 is going to last, because we only made it to the 50, and wave 2 is going to go up to the 786 as well. Okay, so we still just might have an A in, perhaps a correction here for wave B, and then a C up here. Sorry again, I know I clear my throat a lot. Sorry. 1, 2, and then we'll be looking for a wave 3, possibly into the 31st. I love this little cluster we have here. And then a 4 and a 5 down into our beginning of January. Okay, so this whole trend could be the 2 short weeks that we have, and then looking for a bottom into early January for the bottom of this wave 1. Okay, let's go to the Qs. The Qs look a lot more clear. This trend line is probably more appropriate to something down here. Not sure yet. I'll have to play around with that. Doesn't really matter right now. Same thing. All right, held this fake break, this zone here, good resistance, now support, broke back into it. We're back into the options expected move. That's just kind of a probability. Could have played that as a theoretical play. Let's go work this out. Okay, so we have we clearly invalidated the 382 from the top of possible wave 2, 3 right here. I think this whole wave is in. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, much clearer than what SPY is giving. So now we're just looking for, we hit the 50%, just like SPY. Is this just an A wave? Get a B and C? I think that's more likely that there's a larger correction going on here. So on this pullback, I'll probably take off any shorter term, like the 24th SPY puts that I put on today in the Discord. And look for I believe we're open Monday and Tuesday. Turnaround Tuesday. Sometime next week, I think we'll probably hit the 62% retracement. This is much more clean. We have a wave 1 here in the Qs. And we have a wave 2 that we're looking to complete in the Qs here. And then wave 3 will be much more sharp. What I think is happening is I think we're getting that rotation now after the PCE today. I think we're getting our reversal here in the rates, and I think it will start to drop at this point, and we'll see it impact over the long run. It'll impact the tech stocks. Okay, so right now I am net long. Right now, IWM is kind of it's my main position to the upside, and then I have shorts on QQQ and SPY. That will sort of be the theme until we play this out. Okay? Is it done now? Possibly, but I think it's more probable that we get a retracement, maybe into the end of the day today, and then we get one more move to the upside. All right, we'll take a look at individual names in the Discord and individual analysis, such as Nvidia and Tesla and such. So we were long Nvidia and Tesla today, already out of Nvidia. IWM, the reason why we are bullish IWM just for a bounce. I think it's much more volatile. It's had a much bigger move, and I think we'll probably see a nice. It'll look pretty much the same. We had our first probably A wave, B wave, and then C wave. Okay, and then we'll be out of all of the calls as soon as we get to those 62% retracements. VIX. VIX is at support. It's in a support area. I do think it goes a little bit lower. All we're seeing here is the breakout and the back test. So we'll probably get a little bit of a move to the upside and a larger move to finish off here to the downside. I think the daily represents a little bit better. So we had the breakout, and we're testing into the moving averages. But I think ultimately we test this 200 moving average again. It seems to be that pivot point, right? So we used it here, and then traded around it. It's just a huge point, bull bear point. So I think we'll probably get a little bounce somewhere today or tomorrow, but ultimately I think this leads us down to the breakout point, and then we head higher from there. And that's pretty much it. I rushed through a lot of things, but I just wanted to get that game plan out there. And then if you're completely bullish, then you're looking at maybe a new high in SPY, maybe a lower high in the Qs, something like that. But I think we just backtest the wedge. You play it how you want to. That's how I'm playing it. I think we'll probably get to let me look at the 62% retracement is around 598, 599. So that coincides. I'm trying to highlight the so 600 is where the 20-day is, probably right into resistance again. That's 599 right into resistance, and that's the wedge. Makes sense. So we'll probably see there. And then 786, if it wants to go higher, is 603, since we'll be in a light volume trade. With the holidays, maybe it gets up a little bit higher because, as you take more days, the wedge goes up. So maybe we get an inside day here Monday, turn around Tuesday to get our last move, and then maybe Friday or so we have a reversal. Just expect a pretty boring week. Maybe we get a reversal. Maybe we can find some long trades with individual stocks, just for a day trade or so. But ultimately, by the end of, I think, next week, and we'll see what price does, maybe we'll be net short again, because the next move is going to be larger, more intense. And then we'll let this play out, unfold. So again, just to wrap this up, I think we have wave 1 in. We're looking for 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll probably form some sort of wedge, and then we'll look for a much larger bounce before heading lower. Okay, that's what we have. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.